Welcome to Speak English Confident. I'm Nora, and I'm very happy you are here today. Take a slow breath with me for a moment. Many English learners already understand English very well. You can watch videos, you can read messages, you can follow conversations. But when it is your turn to speak, something changes. Your voice becomes smaller, your sentences become shorter, and sometimes people do not take you seriously. Today, we are talking about something very powerful: assertive English. Not aggressive English, not rude English, not perfect English. Assertive English means speaking clearly, calmly, and confidently so people respect you and understand you. And this skill changes everything: your job, your friendships, your daily life, even how you feel about yourself. I think this topic is exactly for me because I notice something strange. When I speak my native language, I feel confident, I joke, I explain ideas easily. But in English, I suddenly become quiet. I say things like maybe, I think, sorry, all the time, even when I know I am right. Yes, that happens to many learners. You don't lose intelligence in English, you lose assertiveness. And today we will slowly rebuild it together. Let me ask you something, Miley. When you speak English with strangers or coworkers, what do you usually worry about? I worry people will think I am rude or not polite, so I make my sentences very soft, sometimes too soft. For example, instead of saying, I need this today, I say, maybe if possible, could you maybe send it today if you have time? And then people ignore me. Yes, that is a perfect real-life example. Many learners believe confidence equals rudeness, but actually, unclear language causes more problems than clear language. Assertive English is respectful and strong. Let's look at a simple daily situation. Imagine you are at work. You need information from a colleague. A non-assertive sentence sounds like this: sorry to bother you, I just wanted to ask, maybe if you are free, can you send me the report? Your message becomes weak. The listener hears uncertainty. Now listen to an assertive version. Hi, could you send me the report today? I need it to finish my task. Same meaning, still polite, but clear. Yes, I feel the difference immediately. The second one sounds confident but not angry. Exactly. Assertiveness has three simple elements: clarity, calm tone, and respect. And here is something important. People around the world respond positively to clear communication. It does not matter if you are speaking with someone in Asia, Europe, America, Africa, or anywhere else. Clear English builds trust. Now I want to explore a deeper emotional reason many learners struggle. Miley, when you speak English, do you feel younger or less powerful? Yes, that is very true. Sometimes I feel like a child again. I know what I want to say, but I cannot express my personality fully, so I stay safe and quiet. That feeling is very common. Language is connected to identity. When your vocabulary feels limited, your confidence feels limited too. But here is the truth I want you to remember today. You do not need advanced English to sound confident. You need intentional English. Simple sentences can sound powerful. Let's practice together. I will say a weak sentence first, then we transform it. Weak sentence: I just wanted to check if maybe this is okay. Assertive version: is this okay for you? Shorter, cleaner, stronger. Oh, I noticed something. Assertive English often uses fewer words. Yes, that is one of the secrets. Many learners add extra words to hide insecurity. Words like just, maybe, a little, I think, sorry but, if possible, maybe. These words are not wrong, but when you use too many, your message loses strength. Let's try another example from daily life. You are in a restaurant and the order is wrong. Non-assertive English. Sorry, maybe I ordered wrong. I think this is different. Assertive English. Excuse me, I ordered chicken, but this is beef. Could you change it, please? Clear, respectful, effective. I love this example because I always feel nervous in restaurants. I worry staff will think I complain too much. Assertiveness is not complaining, it is communicating needs. You deserve correct service. You deserve to be understood. Confidence begins when you believe your voice matters. Let's explore another real situation. You are speaking in a meeting. Someone interrupts you. This happens everywhere in the world. Many learners immediately stop speaking. Miley, what would you normally do? Honestly, I stop talking. I think my idea is not important. And many people do the same. But assertive English gives you tools. You can say, let me finish my point. Or, one moment, I'd like to complete this idea. Notice the tone, not angry, not emotional, just calm authority. That sounds powerful, but I feel scared saying it. Of course, assertiveness is a muscle. You build it slowly through practice. Today, we begin with small steps. I want everyone listening to imagine a daily situation, maybe at work, maybe at school, maybe speaking with neighbors. Think about one moment where you usually stay silent. Now we practice together. Repeat after me, slowly. I'd like to share my idea. Pause, feeling. Again, I'd like to share my idea. When I say it out loud, I already feel more confident. Because language changes emotion. Your brain listens to your own voice. When your sentences become clearer, your confidence grows naturally. Let's talk about tone. Assertive English is not only words, it is rhythm. Many learners speak very fast when nervous, or very quietly. Try this. Slow down slightly, finish your sentence completely, and let silence exist after you speak. Silence shows confidence. That is interesting. I usually fill silence quickly because I feel uncomfortable. Yes, silence feels dangerous when you lack confidence, but confident speakers allow space. After you speak, pause. Let people process your words. Now let's practice a real-life dialogue. Imagine you need help from a coworker who is busy. I will model the conversation. Hi, Alex. Do you have 5 minutes? I need your input on this project. Simple, direct. So I don't need long explanations. Exactly. Assertive English respects both people's time. Now you respond. Okay. Hi, Alex. Do you have 5 minutes? I need your input. Yes, this feels clear. Very good. Now let's add emotional awareness. Assertive English also includes empathy. You can say, I know you're busy, but I need your decision today. This sentence balances respect and clarity. I noticed something new. Assertiveness is not control, it is cooperation. Yes, assertive speakers do not dominate conversations, they guide conversations. And here is another important idea. Many learners believe confidence comes after fluency, but actually, confidence creates fluency. When you stop overthinking mistakes, your speech becomes smoother. Let me share a small story. I once worked with a learner who had basic English grammar, very simple vocabulary, but she spoke with calm confidence. She made eye contact, she spoke clearly, she finished sentences. People described her as professional and intelligent, not because of perfect grammar, because of assertive communication. That gives me hope. Sometimes I wait until my English becomes perfect before speaking strongly. Perfection is not the goal. Connection is the goal. Let's practice another transformation. Weak English. I'm not sure, but maybe this idea could work. Assertive English. I believe this idea could work. You are still open-minded, but you show ownership of your thought. Yes, I hear confidence in that sentence. Now I want to explore emotional assertiveness. Sometimes the hardest moment is saying no. Have you experienced that? Oh, yes. I always say yes first, then regret later. Many learners fear rejection or conflict, so they agree even when stressed. But assertive English protects your energy. Instead of, okay, I will try, when you actually cannot do it, you can say, I can't take this task today, but I can help tomorrow. Clear boundary, still polite. That sounds respectful, not selfish. Exactly. Assertiveness is self-respect expressed through language. Let's do a speaking practice together. I will give situations, you answer confidently. Situation 1. A friend speaks. I keep thinking about something you said earlier. Confidence is small sentence choices. That feels true, but when real situations happen, my emotions become strong again. For example, when someone speaks very directly to me in English, I feel nervous immediately. My brain thinks, oh no, they sound so confident. My English is not good enough. That reaction is very human. Many learners misunderstand direct communication. In many cultures, direct English does not mean arrogance or anger. It often means efficiency. When someone says, send me the file today, they are usually not judging you. They are simply being clear. The problem is not their confidence. The problem is the story your mind tells you. Yes, I immediately assume I am lower than them. Exactly. Today we will work on something deeper, receiving assertive English without losing confidence, because communication has two sides, how you speak and how you interpret others. Let's imagine a workplace situation. Your manager says, I need this finished by 3 p.m. Many learners hear pressure, but assertive listeners hear information. The sentence is neutral. Your response can also be calm and assertive. Understood. I'll have it ready by 3. Or if the deadline is difficult, I can finish it by 4 p.m. Will that work? Notice something important. You are not apologizing for reality. You are negotiating clearly. I like that word negotiating. It feels professional. Yes, assertive English transforms conversations into collaboration instead of fear. Let's talk about emotional triggers. Mile, when do you feel most uncomfortable speaking English? When I disagree with someone, especially if they speak better English than me, I worry my disagreement sounds rude or childish, so I stay silent. This is one of the most important skills we can learn today, disagreeing respectfully, because confident speakers do not always agree. They participate honestly. Here are 3 powerful structures. First, I see your point, but I have a different perspective. Second, that's interesting. I think another option could be. Third, I understand what you mean. From my experience, these sentences create balance. Respect first, opinion second. Ah, so disagreement starts with connection. Exactly. Assertiveness is emotional intelligence in language. Let's practice together. I will give an example. Imagine your colleague suggests an idea you believe will not work. Your non-assertive reaction might be silence or forced agreement, but assertive English sounds like this. I like the idea. I'm a little concerned about the timeline. You are honest without attacking. That feels safe. I don't feel like I am fighting. Yes, conflict becomes discussion. Now let's explore another daily scenario. You are in a group conversation. Everyone speaks quickly. Native speakers interrupt each other naturally. Many learners disappear in these moments. Do you recognize this situation? Yes, I become invisible. By the time I prepare my sentence, the topic changes. That happens because you are waiting for a perfect opening. Assertive speakers create openings. Here are simple interruption phrases that are polite. Can I add something?
One quick thought. I'd like to jump in here. These phrases are social signals. They tell others you want to speak. I never knew interruption could be polite. In many English conversations, controlled interruption is normal. Silence is often interpreted as agreement or lack of interest, so speaking up is participation, not disrespect. Let's practice rhythm. Say this with me. One quick thought. One quick thought. Good. Now imagine saying it calmly while slightly raising your hand or leaning forward. Your body supports your language. I realize confidence is physical too. Absolutely. Your posture influences your voice. Sit or stand upright, relax your shoulders, breathe before speaking. These small physical actions change how others perceive your words. Now let's move into a very real emotional situation. You make a mistake at work. Many learners immediately over-apologize. They say, "I'm so sorry, it's completely my fault, I'm very bad." But assertive English handles mistakes differently. You acknowledge responsibility without destroying confidence. Example, I made an error in the report. I've corrected it and sent the updated version. Clear, responsible, professional. That sounds mature, not defensive, not embarrassed. Yes, confidence includes accountability. Now let's explore vocabulary naturally. Today's keyword, clarify. To clarify means to make something clear. You can say, "Let me clarify my point. Can I clarify something? I'd like to clarify the deadline." This word instantly makes your English sound professional and calm. I like this word. It feels useful everywhere. Exactly. Good vocabulary is not complicated vocabulary. It is flexible vocabulary. Another powerful phrase, just to be clear. This helps prevent misunderstandings. Example, just to be clear, we're meeting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. You sound organized and confident. Now let's talk about social situations outside work. Imagine meeting new people at an event. Many learners wait for others to lead the conversation. Assertive English helps you guide interaction gently. You can start with, "What brought you here today? How do you know the host? What kind of work do you do?" These open questions show interest and confidence. I always worry about starting conversations. I feel I interrupt people's space. Gentle tone. Starting conversation is offering connection, not invading space. Most people appreciate friendly initiative. And remember, many native speakers also feel shy. Confidence is often practice, not personality. Let's role play. I will be someone you meet at an event. You begin. Okay. Hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Mile. Wonderful start. I respond, "Nice to meet you, Mile. I'm Nora." Now continue. "What brought you here today?" Perfect. Simple, natural, assertive. Notice you did not apologize for speaking. You simply connected. Now let's explore another emotional challenge, asking for help. Many learners avoid asking questions because they fear looking inexperienced, but assertive professionals ask questions regularly. Try these assertive structures. Could you walk me through this process? I'd appreciate your advice on this. Can you show me how you usually do this? These sentences show willingness to learn. I like that they sound respectful but confident. Yes, confidence includes curiosity. Now I want to talk about voice tone. Assertive speakers often end sentences with a downward tone, not an upward questioning tone. For example, weak tone, "I finished the report." Assertive tone, "I finished the report." The difference is subtle but powerful. Your voice communicates certainty. I think I often sound unsure because my voice goes up at the end. Many learners do this unconsciously. Practice finishing statements firmly. Let's try. Say, "I'll send the email today." I'll send the email today. Very good. Feel the finality of the sentence. Now let's explore emotional boundaries in daily life. Imagine a friend constantly cancels plans. Non-assertive reaction, it's okay, maybe next time, but inside you feel frustrated. Assertive English allows honesty with kindness. I understand you're busy, but I'd appreciate more notice if plans change. You express feelings without accusation. That sounds emotionally healthy. Yes, assertiveness protects relationships because it prevents silent resentment. Now let's talk about confidence during misunderstandings. Sometimes you say something and people misunderstand your meaning. Instead of panic, use repair phrases. That's not exactly what I meant. Let me explain differently. I think I explained that clearly. These phrases keep conversations calm. I usually freeze when misunderstanding happens. Freezing happens when you believe mistakes end conversations, but communication is flexible. You can always reset. And this mindset is essential. English conversations are cooperative, not exams. Nobody is grading you. They are simply trying to understand you. Let's move into a deeper role play. You are presenting an idea in a meeting. I interrupt you and disagree. Ready? Ready, I think. Mile, I don't think this plan will work. Now respond assertively. Thank you for the feedback. Can you tell me which part concerns you? Excellent. You stayed calm. You invited discussion. That is high-level communication. You did not defend immediately. You asked for clarification. I feel proud of that response. You should, because confidence grows through moments exactly like this. Now I want
Something interesting is happening while we talk. I'm realizing my biggest problem was not vocabulary. It was hesitation. I wait too long before speaking, and then the moment disappears.
That awareness is very powerful. Hesitation is often the invisible barrier in English communication. Many learners believe they must build the perfect sentence before opening their mouth, but confident speakers think differently. They begin speaking while thinking. They trust the conversation to carry them forward.
That sounds scary. My brain wants safety first.
Of course, your brain wants certainty, but real conversations are never perfectly planned, even for native speakers. Today, we will practice thinking out loud in English. This is a major confidence skill. Let's start with a simple phrase that buys you time while keeping confidence. You can say, "Let me think for a moment." This sentence is magic. It gives your brain space without silence.
Oh, I usually stay quiet when thinking.
And silence sometimes makes listeners unsure. But when you say, "Let me think for a moment," you remain present and engaged. Here are more thinking phrases. "That's a good question." "I'm considering a few options." "I need a second to organize my thoughts." These phrases show intelligence, not weakness.
I like this because I don't feel rushed anymore.
Exactly. Assertive English removes panic from conversation. Now let's move into a situation many learners fear: unexpected questions. Imagine your boss suddenly asks, "What do you think about this plan?" Your heart beats faster, your mind feels empty. Sound familiar?
Very familiar. My brain says, say something smart, and then nothing.
Yes, pressure blocks language, so we use structure. When answering unexpected questions, follow this simple pattern. First, acknowledge. Second, give a general opinion. Third, add one reason. Example: "That's an interesting idea. I think it could work because it simplifies the process." Simple structure, clear thinking.
So I don't need a long answer.
Not at all. Confidence often sounds concise. Let's practice. I ask you, what do you think about remote work?
Okay, that's a good question. I think remote work is helpful because it saves commuting time.
Excellent. Clear, calm, assertive. Now let's deepen the emotional side of communication. Many learners feel confident with information but struggle expressing feelings. For example, giving feedback to a colleague or friend. You want honesty, but you fear hurting someone. Assertive English balances truth and kindness. Here is a powerful formula. positive observation, concern, suggestion. Example, I really like your presentation style. I think adding more examples could make it even clearer.
That feels supportive, not critical.
Exactly. Assertiveness builds relationships instead of damaging them. Let's explore another real-life moment. You join a discussion late. Everyone already understands the topic except you. Many learners pretend they understand, but confident speakers clarify. You can say, "Could someone quickly summarize where we are?" Or, "I joined a little late. Could you update me?"
I usually stay quiet because I don't want to slow people down.
But clarity saves time for everyone. Misunderstanding causes bigger delays later. Asking questions shows responsibility. Now let's talk about another important skill, owning your opinion. Many learners hide behind phrases like, "Maybe I'm wrong," "This might be stupid." These sentences weaken your presence. Instead, try, "My perspective is," "From my experience, I see it differently." You express confidence without claiming absolute truth.
I realize I often apologize before speaking.
Yes, and many learners do this automatically. Let's practice removing unnecessary apologies. Instead of, "Sorry, can I say something?" Say, "I'd like to add something." Feel the difference.
Wow, it sounds much stronger.
And still polite. Now we will practice emotional resilience. Sometimes people interrupt, disagree strongly, or speak impatiently. Your confidence must remain stable. Imagine someone says, "That doesn't make sense." A defensive reaction might be silence or argument. Assertive English responds calmly. "Let me explain my reasoning." Or, "Maybe I didn't explain clearly. Here's what I mean." You keep control of the emotional tone.
I like how calm these responses feel.
Calm language reduces conflict. Now I want to introduce a very powerful communication habit, naming your intention. You can say, "My goal is to find a solution. I want to make sure we're aligned. I'm trying to understand your perspective." These phrases immediately create cooperation.
So instead of defending myself, I show purpose.
Exactly. Purpose sounds confident. Now let's move into daily life outside professional settings. Imagine you're returning an item to a store. Many learners feel nervous speaking to customer service. Non-assertive language, "Maybe I cannot use this, I'm not sure." Assertive English, "I bought this yesterday and it doesn't work properly. I'd like to exchange it." Clear facts, clear request.
I notice assertive sentences are simple, no extra explanation.
Yes, confidence removes unnecessary storytelling. Now let's explore small talk, an underrated confidence skill. Small talk is not meaningless. It creates social comfort. Assertive small talk includes open statements. "It's been a busy week." "This place is really lively today." "I've heard great things about this event." These sentences invite conversation naturally.
Sometimes I don't know how to continue after hello.
Here is an easy strategy. Ask, then share. Ask a question, then share a small detail. Example, "How was your weekend?" "I went hiking, so I feel refreshed." This balance prevents awkward silence.
That makes conversations feel equal.
Exactly. Now let's talk about energy management in conversation. Assertive speakers do not rush to fill every silence. They listen actively. Listening itself is powerful communication. You can show engagement with phrases like, "That makes sense," "I see what you mean," "Interesting perspective." You remain involved without dominating.
I always thought confidence meant talking more.
No, confidence means speaking intentionally. Sometimes fewer words create stronger presence. Now let's move into a more emotional scenario. You feel overwhelmed at work. You need support. Many learners hide stress because expressing emotion feels risky, but assertive communication allows vulnerability professionally. You can say, "I'm managing several priorities right now. Could we review deadlines together?" You are honest and solution-focused.
That sounds mature, not complaining.
Yes, assertiveness transforms problems into collaboration. Now let's practice a longer role play. You are leading a small meeting. You must guide the conversation. I will be a participant. Begin.
Okay. Thanks everyone for joining. I'd like to start by reviewing our main goal today.
Excellent leadership language. I interrupt. We already discussed this last week. Respond assertively.
True, and today I want to confirm our next steps.
Perfect. You acknowledged without losing direction. That is leadership communication.
I never imagined myself leading in English.
Many learners underestimate themselves. Language skill grows faster when identity expands. Start seeing yourself as a contributor, not just a learner. Now let's explore emotional confidence in social boundaries. A friend asks you for a favor you cannot do. You feel guilty. Instead of vague answers, use clear kindness. I wish I could help, but I don't have the capacity this week. No excuses, no long apology.
That feels honest.
Honesty builds trust. Now I want to teach a very powerful phrase. Here's what I can do. When you cannot meet a request fully, offer an alternative. Example, I can't finish it today, but here's what I can do. I'll complete half and send progress. You remain cooperative and assertive.
I like this phrase a lot. It feels constructive.
Yes, assertive English focuses on solutions. Now let's slow down and reflect emotionally. Earlier, you said you felt smaller when speaking English. How do you feel now?
I feel more equal, like English is not testing me. It's just another way to express myself.
That shift is very important. Confidence grows when language becomes a tool, not a judge. And remember something essential. You do not need to change your personality to sound confident in English. You simply learn clearer ways to express who you already are. As we continue, we will move into even deeper situations, handling pressure, difficult personalities, and speaking with authority when emotions are strong.
I've been thinking about real situations where emotions become strong. Because when everything is calm, I can imagine using these sentences. But when stress appears, I forget everything. My voice becomes weak again. That is completely normal. Confidence is easy in theory. The real test happens under pressure. So now we move into one of the most important skills in assertive English, staying calm when emotions rise. Let me ask you something, Mile. What kind of situation makes you feel immediate pressure? When someone sounds impatient. For example, if a customer, coworker, or even a stranger speaks quickly or sounds annoyed, I suddenly feel I did something wrong. Yes, many learners interpret urgency as criticism, but often people are reacting to their situation, not judging your English. Assertive communication helps you separate emotion from information. Imagine someone says, "Why isn't this finished yet?" Your emotional brain hears blame, but an assertive response focuses on clarity. You can say, "I'm working on it now. It will be ready in 30 minutes." You answer the problem, not the emotion. So I don't need to defend myself immediately? Exactly. Defensiveness escalates tension. Clarity reduces tension. Let's practice emotional grounding language. When conversations feel intense, use steady phrases like, "Let's look at the situation. Here's where we are right now. Let's find a solution." These sentences calm both people. I like that they sound neutral. Neutral language is powerful leadership. Now let's explore another difficult moment, receiving criticism. Many English learners feel personal shame when corrected, but confident communicators treat feedback as information. If someone says, "This report needs improvement," you can respond, "Thank you for the feedback. Which part should I focus on first?" You transform criticism into direction. That feels strong. Instead of feeling attacked, I become proactive. Exactly. Assertiveness turns reactions into actions. Now I want to talk about emotional tone. Your tone can protect your confidence even when words are simple. Slow speech, steady breathing, clear pauses. These signals show composure. Try imagining your voice moving like calm water, not rushing energy. I notice confident people rarely rush their words. Yes, speed often comes from anxiety. Authority often sounds slower. Let's practice together. Say, I understand your concern. I understand your concern. Good. Now say it again, slightly slower. I understand your concern. Beautiful. Feel how calm authority appears naturally. Now let's enter a challenging scenario. Someone disagrees strongly with you in a meeting. They say, I completely disagree. Your heart rate rises. Your instinct may be silence or argument. Assertive English creates space instead. You can say, I appreciate your perspective. Let's explore both options. You invite discussion without surrendering your position. I like that I don't have to win immediately. Exactly. Assertiveness is not about winning, it is about maintaining respect and clarity. Now let's explore authority language. Many learners feel uncomfortable giving instructions in English, especially when speaking to older colleagues or experienced people, but leadership language can still sound respectful. Instead of, maybe you could try, you can say, let's try this approach. Please start with step 1. I recommend focusing here first. These phrases guide action confidently. I realize I avoid leadership language because I fear sounding bossy, a very common fear, but tone and intention matter more than hierarchy. Clear direction actually helps teams feel secure. Now we move into a deeply emotional skill, handling interruptions confidently. Imagine you are speaking and someone cuts you off repeatedly. Instead of stopping completely, you can say, I'd like to finish this thought. Or, one moment, I'll be brief. You protect your voice calmly. That feels respectful but firm. Yes, assertiveness protects participation. Now let's talk about confidence with strangers. Daily life offers many small opportunities to practice assertive English. At a cafe, at a bank, at an airport. These everyday interactions are powerful training. Instead of soft uncertainty, maybe coffee, you say, I'd like a medium coffee, please. Clear request, calm tone. It sounds simple, but I see how daily practice builds confidence. Exactly. Confidence grows through repetition in low-risk situations. Now let's explore emotional boundaries again, but deeper. Sometimes people ask personal questions you don't want to answer. Many learners feel forced to respond fully, but assertive English allows polite limits. You can say, I prefer not to discuss that. I'll keep that private. That's a story for another time. You remain respectful while protecting yourself. I never realized English gives permission to set boundaries. Language always carries personal freedom. Now I want to introduce an important mindset shift. You are not asking permission to speak English. You already belong in the conversation. That sentence feels powerful because belonging changes behavior. When you believe you belong, your voice naturally becomes clearer. Let's move into another real-life role play. You must negotiate a deadline. I will be your manager. I say, I need this finished today. Respond assertively if today is impossible. Okay, I understand the urgency. I can complete it tomorrow morning. Will that work? Excellent. You acknowledged priority and offered a realistic solution. That is professional assertiveness. I notice I didn't apologize excessively. Yes, over-apologizing reduces perceived confidence. Use apologies when necessary, not automatically. Now let's discuss emotional recovery. Even confident speakers sometimes feel embarrassed after conversations. Maybe you forgot a word. Maybe grammar was imperfect. Assertive mindset includes self-supportive language. Instead of thinking, my English was terrible, try, I communicated successfully. Communication success is the true goal. That changes how I evaluate myself. Exactly. Confidence grows when your internal voice becomes supportive. Now let's explore speaking with authority during presentations. A strong opening sentence matters. Instead of nervous beginnings like, today I will try to talk about, use clear openings. Today I'll share 3 ideas about improving teamwork. Immediate structure creates confidence. I see how clarity helps listeners trust the speaker. Yes, listeners relax when structure is clear. Now let's talk about handling silence after speaking. Many learners panic if nobody responds immediately, but silence often means people are thinking. You can calmly add, "I'd love to hear your thoughts." You invite participation without anxiety. I usually assume silence means failure. Silence often means impact. Now let's explore emotional confidence in disagreements with friends or family. Sometimes conversations become sensitive. Assertive English uses I statements. I feel concerned when plans change last minute. I value honesty in our communication. You describe your experience without blaming. That feels emotionally mature. Yes, assertiveness strengthens relationships because feelings are expressed early. Now I want to slow down and ask you something honest. When you imagine your future self speaking English confidently, what do you see? I see myself relaxed, not translating in my head, not afraid of mistakes, just participating naturally. That vision is important because confidence begins in imagination before it appears in behavior. Every sentence you practice today moves you closer to that version of yourself. And as we continue, we step into the final stage, integrating all these skills so assertive English becomes automatic, natural, and fully part of your identity.
It feels different now compared to the beginning of our conversation. Earlier, I was thinking about English as something I needed to improve. Now I'm thinking about English as something I can use. That shift is the real transformation. Language learning is not only about adding vocabulary or fixing grammar, it is about changing your relationship with speaking. Today, we practiced assertive English in many situations: work, social life, conflict, leadership, daily interactions. And now we bring everything together because confidence becomes real when skills connect naturally. Let me ask you something important, Miles. If tomorrow you wake up and decide to speak more assertively, what is the first small change you would make? I think I would stop apologizing before speaking. I would just say my idea directly. That is a powerful beginning. Assertive communication often starts by removing unnecessary fear. Let's review the core mindset together, not as a summary, but as a living practice. Confident English is clear, not complicated, calm, not loud, respectful, not passive. When you remember these 3 qualities, your sentences naturally become stronger. Now I want to guide everyone listening through a real-life flow of communication. Imagine your day from morning to evening. You wake up, you arrive at work or school, you meet people, you solve problems, you express opinions, you set boundaries. Assertive English lives inside ordinary moments. Morning interaction. Someone asks how you are. Instead of automatic short answers, you can say, "I'm doing well. I'm focusing on finishing an important project today." You share presence and intention. I notice that even small answers can show confidence. Exactly. Confidence is not one big moment. It is hundreds of small, clear moments. Now imagine a team discussion. You want to contribute, your heart beats faster. Instead of waiting for perfection, you enter the conversation with, "I'd like to share a thought." This sentence alone changes how others perceive you. You become an active participant. I think I finally understand. Confidence is action before comfort. Beautifully said. Yes, comfort often comes after speaking, not before. Now let's explore something deeper, identity. Many learners secretly believe my real personality exists only in my native language. But that belief slowly disappears as you practice assertive English.
because personality is not locked inside vocabulary. Your humor, kindness, intelligence, curiosity, all of it can exist in English too. I always felt like a simpler version of myself in English. And today, you discovered that simplicity can still be powerful. Clear language often reveals authenticity. Now let's move into one final extended role play that combines everything we practiced. You are in an important meeting. You must present an idea, respond to feedback, handle disagreement, and close confidently. I will guide the situation. You begin the meeting. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Today, I'd like to present an idea that could improve our workflow. Excellent opening. I respond as a colleague. I'm not sure this change is necessary. Your response? I understand your concern. Let me explain the benefit I see. Very strong. Now another colleague interrupts. We don't have time for major changes. One moment, I'll keep this brief. I believe this adjustment could actually save time. Wonderful control of the conversation. Now you close the discussion. I appreciate everyone's input. Let's review the options and decide our next step together. And that was confident leadership English. Notice what happened. You did not use complicated vocabulary. You did not try to sound perfect. You communicated clearly, respectfully, and calmly. That is assertive English. Honestly, I feel proud. I never imagined myself speaking like that. And this feeling matters. Confidence grows when you experience success emotionally, not only intellectually. Now I want to speak directly to everyone listening. Maybe you still feel nervous. Maybe your English is still developing. Maybe you still translate sometimes. That is completely okay. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is speaking while fear is still present. Every confident speaker you admire once felt exactly where you are now. They hesitated, they searched for words, they worried about mistakes, but they continued speaking, and slowly their voice became stronger. Let's talk about daily practice, simple actions that make assertive English automatic. First practice, replace hesitation phrases. Instead of maybe, try I think. Instead of sorry but, try I'd like to. Instead of silence, try let me add something. Second practice, finish your sentences. Do not fade out at the end. Let your voice land firmly. Third practice, pause after speaking. Allow your words to exist. I like that these practices are small. They feel realistic. Yes, transformation happens through consistency, not intensity. Now I want to share one final emotional insight. Assertiveness is not only about how others see you, it changes how you see yourself. When you speak clearly, you begin trusting your own thoughts more. You stop hiding ideas. You participate fully in life. And language becomes freedom. I feel like English is becoming part of me instead of something outside me. That is the moment every learner reaches eventually, the moment English stops being a subject and becomes a voice. Before we close, let's do one last speaking exercise together. Everyone listening, say these sentences aloud, slowly, calmly. I deserve to be understood. Pause. Feel it. I can express my ideas clearly. Pause. My voice matters. My voice matters. Yes, it truly does. And remember this as you move forward into real conversations tomorrow. You do not need perfect English to command respect. You need clear intention, calm delivery, and belief in your voice. Every interaction is an opportunity to practice. Every conversation is progress. And every sentence you speak builds the confident English speaker you are becoming. Thank you for spending this time with us on Speak English Confident. Keep speaking, keep growing, and most importantly, keep trusting your voice.